from New York City, it's the Wendy Williams Show. Today, Wendy's got you covered with all of the latest super juicy hot topics. Then, Michael Eisner says beautiful women aren't funny, and Sierra claims she's abstaining from sex with her boyfriend until marriage. Our Hot Talk panel is breaking down all of the week's most controversial headlines. Plus, things get wild when Dave Mizejewski brings on an all-new group of amazing exotic animals. Now, here's Wendy.
Wow. Thank you for the love. Yeah. Welcome to my fun house. Thanks for watching today. I see you. My co-host, my studio audience, my partners in crime. How you doing? Let's get started. It's time for Hot Topics. So, let's begin at the beginning. Friend to the show, rapper Chainz has just been slapped with a $5 million lawsuit. I'm on Chainz's side. I'm a woman, but I'm sorry. When somebody calls you a thought, that is not a reason to have a $5 million lawsuit. For those of you who don't know, a thought stands for that hoe over there. Okay? Okay? Like, if you're not familiar with that, your kids, your nieces, your nephews, they're all familiar with what a thought is. If a woman gets called a thought, that's like being called the B word. If you are that word, then maybe you get offended. If you're not, brush that off and keep it moving. Brush it, like, really? Our legal system is a mess already. They don't need to be tied up in red tape with a woman suing for $5 million over being called a name. Chainz recorded a woman backstage at his concert, repeatedly calling her a thought. So it's gotten over 10 million views, and she's claiming that she was fired from her job. Well, because she also had something on her social media, and so her bosses saw it, and then they fired her. And she says she suffered from public harassment and abuse. Young lady, come here. You shouldn't have been backstage at a concert. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Look, now look. My thing is that, you know, before doing this talk show, I had over 20 years, almost 25 years in radio. I always went backstage at shows, but I always had the mic. The mic was always my thought protector. You know, you know, because I was there as a working girl. The mic flag said whatever radio station I was working for, I was there on official business. But as a backstage person, I can tell you that there were many women coming backstage, and you know what they want. Unless you have a pad and a paper and you're from Rolling Stone magazine, or a mic flag because you're recording from a radio station, or you're doing something work-related back there, then you could be accused of being a groupie, is what they used to call them. Now they call them thoughts. This woman worked at a salon in Charlotte, North Carolina. It was a barbershop. She was the front desk manager. The shop is called No Grease Barbershop. How y'all doing? So she was fired, and who she needs to be suing and blaming is not 2 Chainz, but the barbershop for firing her. You know? As a matter of fact, in the case of working the front desk at a barbershop, a thought at the front desk could be good for business. I'm just saying. So, in conclusion, 2 Chainz, it's not right that you did this, but I realize that you were in rock star mode backstage. Young ladies, all of you all watching right now, from now on, know this from your old Miss Wendy. If you go backstage at a concert, I don't care whether it's Jonas or Rick Ross or anyone in between, understand one thing. Women, unfortunately, are looked at as thoughts backstage at rock concerts. You know, you're going there for a particular reason is what is assumed. I'm sorry, but it's the way of the world. Thank you. And so now Chloe has announced, you know, that she and Scott are no longer together, but she's putting on a brave face. She and her sisters were out together. They worked out. And then, yeah, there they are working out, which I think this is great. This is what sisters are for. And then they got dressed up for a night out on the town. Yeah. Now, by the way, in my opinion, Chloe looks the best. Okay? Okay? Kim looks second best. I'm just saying. And Courtney looks third best. That's it. People on social media sometimes try to put out pictures like this to pretend that they're over something tragic, like a breakup or whatnot. I think this is probably the way people go these days. For me, I'm a shutdown person. Like, shut it down. I don't want to talk. I'm not answering my phone. You won't see me until I'm ready to swan. You know, you know, like a swan. What I love about Chloe's outfit is there's no bulge, there's no bumps, there's no, like, Chloe, like, I would never wear this. Too much white. But you know, I'm nervous, like, I get scared. But I love this on her. Chloe, you are casting a shadow over even Kim with your beauty. Yeah. And now, you know, Chloe and Scott were very close. You remember seeing their pictures on Instagram and whatnot, but she's loyal to her sister. So, you know, a lot of times people have even during Ask Wendy, sometimes I'll get questions about, you know, family loyalty. Oh, my son just got divorced from his wife. A woman will say in the audience, but I was really close to the wife. And how do I work that relationship? I'm like, no, your loyalty is to your son. And Chloe knows her loyalty is to Courtney. So she's done the right thing, even though they were really, like, I have a brother-in-law, love him to death. But if anything happened, my loyalty would be to, I've known him since I was 10 years old, you know? But my loyalty would be to Wanda, not him. And that's the way that goes. So, you know, good for you, Chloe, for standing on the right side. Scott broke his silence on Instagram while Chloe is trying to bond with her sisters and look beautiful and get over this whole thing. He invited fans to come party with him in Vegas. Well, don't you worry. He was immediately attacked by Kardashian fans. Yeah. They swarmed on him, talking about, you know, how could you be partying? You need to be home, at least trying to mend your marriage. It's not over yet. If you just fight the fight, take care of your kids, you know, or go in the house, close the blinds, like, you know, shut everything down. But here's the thing. As disgusting as many people might feel this is, that, you know, he's still out partying, the club, I'm sure, will be packed. Because there will always be thoughts. And also, you know, fist pumping guys who are like, yeah, bros before. Okay. Okay, so I'm sure that party night will still be successful, and Scott has not learned the error of his ways. Chloe, Courtney, and Kim, you all hold each other's heads up while Courtney's going through this, and I wish you all well. Sorry. I love Jenny Garth. She is such a, she's been here before, but she's such a nice woman, and she's a good mom. And before she and Peter Facinelli got divorced, he had been here before. I don't know whether you've been watching that long. I liked them both. So when they got divorced, I'm like, oh, what do I do? You know, I'm the talk show host friend in the middle. So I'm not choosing sides, but, you know, because I flip-flop, you know I do. But in this particular case, Jenny has her friends worried, and me too. Because first, he got engaged, and then she got engaged, like, right after. And her friends were saying, and I was thinking in my head, are you trying to prove something? You know, sometimes you take that leap because your ex has taken a leap. Is this good? But now she got a pair of huge, ugly tattoos. Okay, okay. Jenny is 43? 40, she's 43. Okay, here's one over here. It looks like part of the laces of her bathing suit. And then you see all this right here. Wait, what? Not that, wait, this way, this way. Anyway, you see what I'm talking about right here, right here. Clap if you think this looks beautiful. Then you're my people. Like, why so big? And why, like that? Like, I can admit, you know, I have the tattoo across my tummy tuck thing. I don't particularly care for it. I got it done to cover the tummy tuck scar line. It looks better than the scar when I'm in the Bahamas with a low-rise bikini. But in a perfect world, I would have probably waited another, and the line was like 12 years old by the time I got it done. So it had faded, but not as much as I would like, so I got the thing. But I think that I would have rather, oh, I don't know either one. Anyway, I don't like my tattoo. And I feel like, you know, she might be going through a midlife crisis. She had her first daughter at 26 years old. Now, you know what we say about the 20s, or at least me. You know, live your life. No kids, no marriage. Live your life. Okay, sir? Okay? These kids out here don't understand. You gotta live your life. Because if you don't live your life in your 20s, what happens is when you get in your 40s and things start to unravel, then you start to do things like buy a motorcycle and get a dirty tattoo or something, you know, a midlife crisis, that's what they call it. You know, I was trying to think, because, you know, I'll be 51 in like 2 weeks. And I was, no. And I was thinking, no, seriously. No, so my producers, and they're all younger than me, okay? Miss Wendy. They're like, well, what did you do for midlife crisis? To me, a midlife crisis starts at about 40. Some people, it hits them at 50 or whatever. And I was like, I didn't do anything. You know, I've always loved short, tight dresses. I've always loved if you watch the after show, you see sometimes I come to work, I have on a Catholic school kilt skirt and a t-shirt tied up. But the thing is that even, thank you, lady. How you doing? She said, you got nice legs. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I think, you know, I've lived my life as a full-blown midlife crisis. Like, I've always loved the club. And when I go to the club, I like to get turned up. Yes. Always. You know? Yes. So, but people do, midlife crisis is a real deal, and perhaps that's what she's going through. And so, you know, but Jenny, good luck with your new tattoo and your new engagement and stuff. Okay, so I had no idea who Chris Pratt was until I went to see, what'd I say? Jurassic World. Okay? I was captivated. Look. I had on my 3D glasses and I'm watching, I'm like, who is that? And so it's Chris Pratt. Well, anyway, he's got a huge movie career, but apparently it's now hurting his marriage. You know, he's married to Anna Faris. Now, Anna, when they got together, was a bigger star than he was. Are you familiar with Anna Faris? Perfect. Well, she married a chubby guy who was a sitcom actor. Show the picture of him on the beach. That's more indicative. Because I like him on... Okay. Okay. Well, look, this is who you know from the show Parks and Recreation and other stuff. But show the other picture on the beach. Okay? Oh, in the gym. So, reportedly, and this happens in relationships. You ever get with somebody and they look like Exhibit A, and then all of a sudden they turn into Exhibit B, and you don't know how to handle it because they don't know how to handle it themselves? Well, all of a sudden, Chris is hot, and now, reportedly, it's causing a strain in the relationship. He said he used to be, you know, the chunky guy who would carry her handbag, and producers and other stars would overlook him on the red carpet and at events. They would pay attention to her and even hit on her right in front of him. I know. Now, all of a sudden, he's the bigger star. You know, Jurassic World is like #1 for like 4 weeks in a row, you know? And you know, my thought is, if you're the person who's all of a sudden turned hot in your relationship, it's up to you to manage your partner and to make your partner feel like you're still the same person. And for you who have a partner who's all of a sudden turned hot, understand this. Hot is only on the outside. They're still the same goofball you met. Like, you know what I mean that lovingly. Like, they're still the same loving goofball. Maybe they have jerkish ways to the outside world, but you've known them for so many years. When they get in the house, muscle schmushel. They're still the same person that you met. And Anna needs to understand that, and that she married an actor. And a lot of times actors are required to gain weight, lose weight, turn hot, turn thin, be blue, purple, green, you know, whatever they have to do. And so actors are constantly, you know, their looks are always revolving, or evolving. So, but I like the hot Chris Pratt, because And Jennifer Lawrence, you're about to make the mistake of your life. Well, she's only 24 years old, and she's been apartment hunting here in New York City. But not just for herself. Reportedly, she's looking for a place big enough for her boyfriend, Chris Martin. No, that's not the no. The no is, and his 2 kids. Okay. Now, let me tell you something. Okay, so she's 24, and you know what we say about the 20s? Live, You don't need that. Live. Yes, live. You don't need the baggage. And he's 38. He's about to be a divorcee with 2 kids. And not just any kids, the ones with slick mouths. Now, if you're a parent, you know what 9-year-olds act like. And you know what 11-year-olds act like. And you put them both in the same house with a 24-year-old or 24. You ain't my mother. Okay? Like, really? Who needs that? And I don't know for a fact, because sometimes realtors are quick to jump to the gun and talk about what celebrities are buying and why they're buying it and stuff. We won't know the real deal until we see whether the guest rooms in this apartment are made up like children's rooms. You know what I mean? Because to me, it's not unusual for a wealthy, beautiful actress to buy a 3- or 4-bedroom apartment here in Manhattan. You have one room that you turn into a closet, you know, 2 extra rooms for when your girls sleep over, and like that. But I think that she shouldn't even be involved with him, other than a quick hookup, like a drive-by. Like, here's my room key. Come over, and that's it. I don't like this relationship, but, you know, we'll be watching, because that's what we do. In the meantime, keep clapping. More great show for you, everybody. Wildlife expert Dave Mizejewski is here. He's got some amazing wild animals for us. But up next, our Hot Talk panel is going to break down the biggest stories of the week, so don't go far. Thank you. Wendy, bargains of the season.
I have to show you the cutest tunic ever.
Oh, my gosh. A big finish with our biggest deals ever.
Monday on an all-new Wendy.
Thank you, Dawn.
You're so skinny.
Okay, it is time to discuss this week's hottest topics in the latest edition of Hot Talk. Joining me from Fox 5 reporter and host, and one of my compadres from back in the day, Hot 97 Street Soldier host, Lisa Evers. Thank you, Wendy. It's so good to see you again. Also, relationship expert and the author of Write Your Own Fairy Tale, our old friend, Siggy Flicker. Yes. And the anchor and bad boy of CNN Tonight. Give it up for Don Lemon. Okay. So let's get started, guys. All right. Former Disney president Michael Eisner caused an uproar last week. He was being interviewed, or he was interviewing the actress Goldie Hawn, and he said to her, "From my position, the hardest artist to find is a beautiful, funny woman. Usually unbelievably beautiful women, you being an exception, are not funny." So, Siggy, what do you say?
Okay, first of all, I'm so upset because my husband looks like a younger version of a Michael Eisner. That is the stupidest thing that could come out of Disney's mouth. Does anybody here know Sofia Vergara? Because she's not only beautiful, but funny. And that's like old school to even say something.
She's an exception, though. She is an exception. And he said unbelievably beautiful women.
I thought you thought that I was unbelievably beautiful.
You are, but you're not a comedic actress. I understood exactly what he was saying, and I don't see the outrage, because most of the women, most of the comedians, they're attractive. You look at, they're attractive, but they're not unbelievably beautiful.
But wait a minute, there's so many. What about Sandra Bullock? You have Zoe Deschanel with New Girl. What about Mindy Kaling?
They're not comedic actresses.
There's so many.
But they're not funny off the cuff. They're funny because they have a script. And you know what? I was very offended when I first heard this, but upon sleeping on it and thinking about it, I have to say there's something to what he said. Sorry, girls.
I think he's right.
Sorry.
And it's not just women, it's men, too. If you look at Seth Rogen, Adam Sandler, Vince Vaughn,
But
Jonah
they would
Hill.
never say this about a man.
How many really hot men do you see? How many really hot men do you see?
Yes, but that's the point. But Wendy, that's the point. They would not say this about a man. They don't say how many hot men who are good comedians are there out there.
That wasn't the topic of the subject. You don't know.
This is a double standard for women, Because women have
exceptionally beautiful.
It's a double standard for women.
Eisner, go back to watching Mickey Mouse. It was a stupid statement.
Right.
But end the story.
I must say,
She's been in the Disney castle way too long.
but I must say that, you know, the funny women that we think of when we think of funny are funny because they have a script in front of them. Think Melissa McCarthy, and you said Sandra Bullock. That's a script, you know. There are attractive women who are funny, but, you know, he says unbelievably attractive, and there's something to that. And I can tell you something right now. A lot of times, unattractive people have got to be funny because when they walk in a room, they don't have the automatic looks. And I can tell you something about real attractive people. A lot of you all are dead. You have no personality at all.
They don't have to build that part of their personality where they have to attract people in. Because people are catered to them.
A lot of unbelievably attractive people have no personalities at all. And so a lot of times funny people have to work at it because they weren't necessarily so attractive in the beginning.
And when you're quirky, if you look, Melissa McCarthy is winning, right? She's not, like, she's a beautiful woman to me, but like classic beauty, she's winning. There's something odd about her, something different, and that makes her win, and I think that's beautiful in itself.
Yes. Okay, let's move along. Okay. Florida State University's quarterback, have you heard about this story? DeAndre Johnson, he was caught on camera at a bar punching a woman in the face. The video contains violence and disturbing images, but let's watch and I'll describe what you see. All right, so he's at the bar. The woman's in the blonde hair. There he is in the hat. She balls her fist up first. According to him, he called her the N-word. And she called him the N-word. And yes, well, you know what? As a quarterback or as a man, I feel as though it's never right for a man to hit a woman, and I'm sorry. Never. He was charged with misdemeanor battery. She was charged with nothing. I think she should have been charged with something.
Wendy,
It's never right for anyone to hit anyone.
It's never right for anyone to hit anyone because if you take a punch and you hit another person, that's assault, whether you're a man or whether you're a woman.
Yes.
Should he have controlled himself? Yes, but she started this. It's very clear from the video.
But
she should have been charged
in this
too.
day and age, you can't go around hitting people because you don't know what the reaction is going to be. And if someone hits you, if someone calls me the N-word and someone hits me in the face, the natural reaction is to punch back. That's a natural reaction. And you're in a bar with drunk people, you don't know how people are going to react. I have to tell you.
Nobody at the bar cares.
Nobody at the bar cares. But most of the altercations I have in bars are with crazily drunk white chicks. Because they get it. I'm telling the truth.
Is there something you want to tell us about?
No, because they get into the bars free, they get drinks, the bartenders ignore you, they feel entitled, they get really hammered, they get really hammered.
She had entitlement issues from this video.
And they just go off and do whatever they want.
And you have a prosecutor who said,
being a mother of 4 kids, I'm raising 2 boys and 2 girls. I tell my boys, don't you ever lay a hand to a woman. But if my son is walking into a bar and he's trying to get up to the bartender and somebody says, ew, you dirty Jew. Why don't you, and he's holding her back in this video, and she put the first punch out him, and he punched her in the face. I'd be happy that my son got arrested. However, she should be thrown in jail as well. That's it.
She should definitely be charged. There's no question about it.
Nobody should ever hit anyone.
Nobody. But also, too, Wendy, we've become desensitized. I think we as a culture become desensitized to this whole hitting and punching thing because of the reality TV shows, and especially with women. Women used to be considered, fragile above all this. We see women throwing drinks, throwing punches, hitting their boyfriends and not expecting the boyfriend to hit back. It's wrong for anyone to hit anyone, period, end of story.
Daughters as well not to hit anybody. So women not to hit. You can't walk around and you know you're weaker than somebody else, and you're going to hit them and not expect retaliation.
Well, now he's been thrown off the team, so he'll never go to the NFL. Whatever his dreams are, they are now
and with
dashed.
the prosecutor, too, the prosecutor said anyone that thinks the woman should be charged is a village idiot. I've never heard a prosecutor.
I invite you to my home, whoever you, attorney, I invite you to call me a village idiot to my face in my house.
Okay.
You're gonna hit
Come on over.
Okay, let's move on. There is a new toy that's hitting the shelves at Walmart, and it has parents and me very upset. Have you heard about the twerking teddy bear? Well, it twerks. Okay. And some people are saying, don't laugh at this. Don't laugh at this because it's summertime and family reunions are going on. And you know at family reunions, we love when little Tay-Tay gets out out there and does her over-sexualized move at 2 years old. This is not cute at all. Some people are saying it's vulgar and inappropriate. I agree with some people. What do you say?
I say that if somebody gave that to my 9-year-old niece, I would be very upset. And I have to say that I see a lot of children at the community events that I go to where they are doing it that think it's cute for a 5- or 6-year-old girl to be sexualized. However, looking at the teddy bear, the 5- or 6-year-old is not the one buying the teddy bear. Right. It's an adult. Adult buying it.
I have to say, I am guilty. I'm guilty. I don't want to be a phony. I think it's adorable.
What?
All my children twerk, and now they're doing the whip and the nay-nay. I think it's a teddy bear.
Oh, Siggy.
We have problems with people punching each other out in bars. This is so adorable to me. I love it.
Oh, my God. It is the ratcheting of America. The ratcheting of the culture. I think it is disgusting.
I think so also. Listen, teddy bear that twerks to me is the gateway drug, kind of like cigarettes to drugs.
To pole dancing.
One day they're doing a twerking teddy bear. The next day they're on the pole.
On the pole.
So,
amen, Wendy.
You're the parent, so you do what you want. I want to thank my panelists. For more information about all these fabulous people, go to wendyshow.com. Up next, my friend Dave Mizejewski's here with some amazing animals. Don't go far. Our next guest stops by, and today he brought along some amazing animals. Please welcome back to our show our wildlife expert friend Dave Mizejewski.
Hey, Wendy. So good to see you.
Dave, what did you bring for us today?
Well, we just kicked off the Great American Campout at the National Wildlife Federation. It's all about getting people outdoors, experiencing nature, just by camping in your backyard or at a campsite. So all the animals that I have today are animals that you might see or hear if you're out in nature camping. So let's bring out the first one.
Okay.
All right, so our first one is a super common species. No matter where you live in the U.S.,
that's a fox?
This is a red fox. Let's see if I can hang on to her here.
I've seen a redder fox in our backyard.
Yeah, well, this is why I wanted to bring a red fox on. They're found all over the country. They are very, very common, even in our backyards.
Can I pet?
They're not dangerous. If you want to gently.
I'm not as scared as I was in your previous visits, because now we have a dog. So,
well, this is, I'm going to take her back here. She's shaking just a little bit. Watch her mouth there. Aww. So this is actually a wild dog. And while they're not dangerous, they're not going to come attack you. What you shouldn't do, because they are wild animals, they're not pets. I'm trained to do this. This animal, actually, her mother was killed by a car. And so she was rescued, and we're raising her up to be an animal ambassador so I can bring her on TV and you know, teach people about them. But again, a fox is a great animal. You actually might hear it shrieking at night. They make an awful sound. It sounds like a woman being murdered. So if you hear that, that's what it is. It's just a red fox.
And she's an orphan.
She's an orphan, yep.
Aww,
yep.
bye.
Several of the animals, including one of the ones I'm going to bring out later, same thing. Their next animal is a cousin of this red fox.
Okay.
But much bigger. And not one.
German shepherds?
These are wolves.
Oh.
These are gray wolf pups.
Oh.
Gray wolf pups, okay? So this is the bigger cousin of the fox. This is not an animal that you would ever find in your backyard. Wolves are afraid of people.
Oh.
Even though they have a bad reputation, people think of the big bad wolf. The big bad wolf is a lie. These guys need wild wilderness areas. So if you go camping, yeah, if you want to gently, again, just on the back here, these guys are pretty young and they're still pretty mellow. So if you go camping in, say, Yellowstone National Park or up in the Great Lakes where wolf populations have recovered.
His hair is nappy, by the way. it's not like slick and nice.
Yeah, but you probably would never see a wolf, but again, you would probably hear wolves howling. Amazing thing to do when you're camping. So, all right, we're going to send these two little guys back because we got some really great animals.
Dave always says never name your animals. Like if you have a wild animal, first of all,
you shouldn't have a wild animal.
You're wrong. Right. But if you do, the reason that Dave doesn't name his animals is because people get too friendly with, like, Snoopy the wolf.
Right.
Oh, Snoopy, Snoopy, Snoopy.
And I'm here to talk about conserving animals in the wild, not making them pets. So let's bring out our next animal, though.
Now
this one, you're going to be a little bit grossed out by.
A vulture.
It is a black vulture. Okay. Now, again, if you're talking about going out camping, spending time out in nature,
my gosh, he's got gold highlights on his wings. Are you serious? Look.
Yeah. See that? So they're other than that light on their feathers they're totally black. They've got a black head. That's why they're called black vultures. But this is one of the most common wildlife that you can see all across America. If you look up in the sky, you see a really big bird with really thick, square wings.
Yes.
It's probably one of these guys. Now, check out the head. there's really not many feathers on there. Do you know why that is?
No.
Because they stick those heads into dead, rotting animal carcasses to get their meal. So it helps keep their head clean, it helps keep them sanitary. And as gross as that is, we need these guys, because if they didn't clean up the dead animals, there would be piles of dead animals everywhere. So, yeah. All right,
this is named vulture. It's just so gross.
Well, you know, but now that you know a little bit more about them, you can appreciate them.
Yes,
right?
I do. I appreciate it.
All right, we've got 2 more animals to get to, and I really want to get to them.
Okay,
so
come on.
Let's come on over here. And I'm going to sink down. You can join me on the ground if you want to meet this next animal up close. This is a river otter. And river otters, now you don't want to put your hand near the mouth, but...
No! Then don't put his mouth near me. Dave, please. Dave.
All right, we're going to pull her over here.
Okay.
So river otters, as the name suggests, live in rivers and lakes and streams, and they're really important wetland wildlife. They feed on fish and frogs.
His fur feels good.
Well, they actually historically have been hunted because of that fur. And they declined because of unsustainable hunting and habitat destruction. But because we've been protecting their wetland habitats, they're rebounding. So it's kind of a success story of wildlife. Another species, if you go camping this summer for the Great American Campout, anywhere near a lake, a pond, or a stream, keep your eye out for these guys. They're elusive, but they're out there.
And they spend most of the time
She wants to
in
go
water.
back to her mom, yeah. All right, our last animal, you're going to love this one. You okay? Sorry. I forgot you were wearing really high heels.
Okay.
All right, so you can help with this one, Wendy.
I love it.
Do you know what this is,
Oh, my
right?
gosh. First of all, I thought zebras were black and white.
Well, but you know, when they're babies, their fur is actually kind of brown. Let's see if we can get them to eat. You want to hold it up? Hold it up. All the way like that. Tilt the head back. Now, obviously, a zebra is not an animal you're going to see camping in your backyard here in the States, but a lot of people go on safari to Africa or exotic places. That's totally legit. You can go and experience amazing wildlife if you just get outside. That's the real message of the Great American Campout.
Here's what I'm gagging at. His teeth are shaped like human teeth.
Yeah, well, you know, those...
They're not all forky and pointy. They're squared off like chiclets like us.
You know why that is? Because they eat grass, and they have to chomp and cut through the grass. That's why they don't eat meat. They don't have big fangs or canine teeth, so...
Can I touch his fur?
You can touch his fur gently.
Okay, gently?
Yeah,
okay.
I keep saying gently as if you're going to, like, bash on the animals, but...
and your eyelashes are gorgeous, honey.
Yeah, but I will tell you this. We're actually very cautious around zebras because even though they're a member of the horse family, they are wild animals. They're not domesticated, and they can bite and kick pretty badly, so...
Now you tell me.
Well, he's happy with his bottle, so...
Okay.
But yeah, again, the Great American Campout, folks, go outside and camp. You will not regret it. National Wildlife Federation does this all summer long, so hopefully you'll participate.
Well, for more information on the National Wildlife Federation, everybody, and the animals you saw today, go to wendyshow.com. Ask Wendy is next. We're making magic on an all-new Wendy. I'm reading minds in Hot Topics. You were thinking it, but didn't have the guts to say it. Well, that's what I'm here for. And the illusions of the one and only Penn and Teller. I'll see you then.
Tuesday on an all-new Wendy.
Welcome back. It's time for Ask Wendy. Everyone have a seat except for you. How you doing?
How you doing, Wendy? How you doing?
Okay.
Wendy? My name is Shireen. I met this guy on a dating site. After our second date, we became exclusive. He wanted to shut it down, so we did. 6 weeks later, he has given me a key to his place, bank account information, as well as passwords to his email. So I want to know if you think he's moving too fast, or is he a man who knows what he wants?
He's the killer. No. I mean, keys to all locks. Because you see, when I was a single woman, when I wanted to make a man feel special, I'd give him a key to my place, but that'd be one of 3 locks. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So, okay.
It's only one lock, though.
Okay, well, exactly. And bank account information?
Yes.
No, ma'am. Where are you from?
Virginia.
Well, people are nice in Virginia.
Yes.
So maybe this is just Southern hospitality.
Yes, it is.
Or the
Absolutely.
killer.
No.
Keep your eyes wide open. Okay?
I'm there.
All right.
Thank you.
How you doing?
How you doing?
My name's Sarah. I'm from Kentucky, and I have a friend that just introduced me to her new boyfriend. And so when I met him, I said, "So what do you do for a living?" And he said, "I draw." And I said, "Oh, you're an artist. That's so fascinating." And I went on and on about being an artist. And then I said, "What do you draw?" And he said, "I draw a welfare check." So he didn't even work. It was very awkward. And my friend has not spoken to me since. So should I reach out to her even though it was an honest mistake?
Yes. First of all, you're so cute. The accent is, you've got me slayed.
Thank you.
You weren't mean by that. You know, he was being ambiguous, and you know, that was an honest mistake. Reach out to your friend. If she shuts you down, that's her fault and her loss, not yours.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thanks for coming. Up next. Do I even have to ask you what you would do if your boyfriend's still living with his ex? Well, somebody in the audience has the question. More Ask Wendy is next. It's so easy to get fabulous Wendy Show bling. Just go to wendyshow.com and click Shop Wendy. T-shirts, Diva fans, and my favorite mugs, plus more. Are you shopping? We're back with more Ask Wendy. How you doing?
How you doing, Wendy? I'm Frankie. I'm 22 years old. I am dating a 37-year-old who has a 5-year-old son. He is still living with the mother of the son, which is also his ex-girlfriend. He says that the only reason why they're still living... Yes, Wendy.
Go ahead.
He says the only reason why they're still living together is financial reasons.
Okay.
Do I trust his word on that, or should I take a step and move forward?
Frankie, you should have never accepted a first date from him. And I'll tell you why. Because at 22, you're a beautiful girl with your whole life ahead of you. You have no children, right?
Right.
You're educated. You've got very white teeth. And why should you waste all of this on a used-up man? You know? He's 30... And it's not even like he has money to move out of the house for financial... Frankie, break up with him. In the name of yourself, break up with him.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Frankie. I love your name.
Thank you very much.
I love it. Yes. Up next, eye candy. Don't go far. Desiree Combs, my eye candy of the day. She's from Queens, New York. I love your embellished jumpsuit. Talk about it.
Thank you, Wendy. How you doing?
Very well, thanks.
I saw this at a store, and I really liked it because of the bright colors, and it was on sale for only $20.
Shut
yes,
up.
And then the wedges was on sale for only $50, so you know.
Okay, Diva on a budget. I love it. Desiree, here's a Diva fan.
Thank you.
And since our audience is the best dressed audience in daytime TV,
yes.
We're all going home with a pair of Susanna Day earrings. These exquisite earrings are perfect for day or a night out on the town. Hey. Susanna Day, hey, and thank you. We'll be right back. Look, I want to thank my guest today and my co-host, my fabulous, one-of-a-kind studio audience.